Miss Ballard, how are you today?
I'm doing good. Just wanted to interview you, asking you some questions. Um, I want to know about the school's library budget. It doesn't matter if it's primary or secondary. I know you are secondary, but all information is good information.
Hmm.
So, yes.
And you know what? I'm kind of glad you asked me about this because I think it's something that gets glossed over a little bit in librarianship. I mean, they talk about how you spend it sometimes as far as like review sources for your books, but they don't
Mm-hmm.
talk about the other parts of it. So, let me see. I wrote down some tips for myself here. Um, so all year long, I am shopping. All year long, I'm shopping. Whenever I go to a conference, whenever I attend a webinar, whenever I talk to other librarians, if I go to the public library, if I'm at Barnes and Noble, just out in the streets. I've even been shopping when I was at the automotive shop. So I'm always on the lookout for things that'll help me to be a better librarian, that'll help make my life easier, that will
Mm-hmm.
make that'll be appealing to my students. I'm always on the lookout. For instance, I went to TLA last year, and while I was
Mm-hmm.
at TLA, the Texas Library Association Annual Conference, while I was there, I just look at things, even if I can't necessarily afford them, because my budget is not, I know I'm secondary, but my budget, let me look and see what it was last year. I want to say I got like $10,000 for books, $400 for general stuff, like
Okay.
office supplies and things like that.
Okay.
So for me, that's not enough because I like to have stuff. That's why I say I'm always shopping and
Okay,
I
I
write
have a
grants.
I have a
Ask the
question.
question.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna get to that too. Okay, wait a minute. You said
Ask the
you said
question.
this. You said that special G word.
The
So
special
when
G
you
word.
say that you're shopping all the time, are you spending the budget or are you spending your money that you get reimbursed? How does that work?
I do all of those things. So
Oh.
I'm just window shopping all the time. I'm window shopping. It's like, you know how on
Mm.
Amazon you have a wish list and you put stuff in there, you might get it, you might not get it, or you may be
Okay.
shopping at the Gap looking at stuff and you put stuff in your shopping cart, but you might not necessarily get all of it. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
always shopping like that. Some of it I try to spend as much if my I very rarely have any money left over from my library budget. But then
Mm-hmm.
there are some things that I feel like I need, and that's a personal decision. Um, for instance, when Big Lots went out of business, I bought two Christmas trees. One of them is 9 feet. It's like the kind that you might see at the mall or somewhere. It's huge. I bought that and I brought it up here to the library because I have a big library space and I wanted my kids to be able to have access to. It's something about the holidays. I want them to see that,
Mm-hmm.
and they
Yeah.
come and take pictures in front of it all the time when it's up.
Aw.
They come in and I let them decorate and everything. But I spent my money for that. But I only spent like $30 for it because it was marked down 90% off the
Okay.
regular
Okay.
price. So I don't
Okay.
mind spending that much of my money on something for them. I don't spend a lot. They used to give us $250. I don't know if I didn't look at my check in September. You may have seen it on yours. I don't know.
You talking about the supply?
The supply fund,
Yes.
$250. So they do still give it to us.
Yeah, it's not 250 though, but
How
yeah.
much is it?
I think it's 200. I've
Two.
never seen 250.
It used to be 250, I thought. I don't
Oh.
know. I don't know. But so I just count that. I know I'm gonna spend that. And then I write grants for other things. If I have like a special project that I want to do, I might write a combination of grants. I've done the Junior League grant. I know you've probably seen that come across. I've done the Toyota grant, which
I'm
I
gonna
think
write it
is
down. Hold on.
okay. If you forget, I can tell you later. But every year, practically every year, this is the only year since I have been here in Dallas I did not write a grant. Only year.
Junior League.
Junior League does a grant and it's for everybody in Dallas ISD. They've sent out an email. I guess it'll go out around. It may have gone out already. I didn't pay it.
Okay.
I knew I wasn't going to do it this year, so I didn't write it. I didn't pay attention to it. Toyota does one that's just for our feeder pattern over here, the Pinkston feeder
Oh,
pattern.
okay,
As
okay.
far as I know, it's just for us. But I imagine every feeder pattern has some grant, some area specific grants, probably.
How did you
Maybe.
find out about like the Toyota for your feed and other grants that you the Junior League? How did you find out about it?
Those, I think they sent an email or else it was in a newsletter. You know how the district sends out those staff
Yeah.
things? It was in something like that and I saw it and I just
Okay.
applied.
Okay.
So, but for big things, that's what I do. Like I wanted
Be
to
on
have
the
a
lookout.
coffee shop in the library, so I wrote a grant for that to get all the materials for the coffee shop.
Okay.
When we were out for COVID, I wanted to do take home packets that the kids could take to do stuff. I wrote a grant for that. This
Okay.
past school year, I wrote a grant for my book club to just get two novels, bookmarks, and some snacks for them for when we meet because they always asking me, Miss, you got some snacks? And like I said, I spend my little 200 or 250, and after that, I don't spend any of my own money. So I wrote a grant for that because you can't, it's hard to buy certain things with your budget money. Once you start looking at your budget, you get a budget for it used to be, they changed it this year, but it used to be for, I don't know if you can see this or not, for AV kits,
I have AV, yeah.
and then for reading materials, and then
Reading.
for general supplies.
Okay, general supplies, that's that 200.
Yes. Well,
Okay,
mine is
okay, so yeah.
400. My general supplies is usually 400.
Wait,
I
you
think it's
talking about
different
through the
based on
you talking about I don't have a general supply from the
you.
school?
Yes. You should, it's
No.
this number right here. It should I can email that to you, but it's that number. The number looks like that, like the general, the one
Oh
that bottom
wow.
one right there.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've
you should
never
have,
seen that.
you haven't seen it?
Oh, okay.
Talk
Yes,
to
I
your
do.
office
I know what you're
manager.
talking about. You're talking about so we could like like supplies like pencils, pens, and things
Tape,
like
if you
that.
need tape, or if you
Tape.
need
Yeah.
to
Okay.
buy
Okay.
bookmarks, you
Yes.
can use it to buy bookmarks. So if you have a button
Yes.
maker and you need more button making supplies, you can buy that with it, whatever you need.
Yes. Yes.
That and
Okay.
then I think they consolidated reading materials and AV kits together this year, but it used to be
Yeah.
AV kits and reading materials. So in my head, it's still three different things.
'Cause I've always combined the two anyway.
Hmm.
I mean, that's what someone told me to do, so that's what I did. Um, even though it was separate the last 2 years I was here, and this year they're combining it. I've always
Hmm.
put it together so I can maximize because I do spend all of mines in like book order. I just load the books and that's
Yeah.
it. Because
Yeah.
if it says reading, what else could you use it for other
Well,
than books?
I use mine for Comics Plus. It's the digital manga, not manga, digital graphic novels, comic books. And that is manga because anime is the actual
Mm-hmm.
cartoons. So I like to get that because my students love that's my most circulated section is the graphic novels. So that way it expands my graphic novel collection because a lot of times if I do an interlibrary loan request for a graphic novel, the other librarian's not gonna send it to me because they may not get it back. So I just like to have my own stuff.
Yes, and
So,
I do that with Dogman too.
yeah. So people do, and you can't blame anybody for doing that because you know you might not get it back. So I've spent
Mhm.
that money on that before. Um, we used to be able to spend it on actual AV materials. So I think I bought like some digital electronic type stuff before with it. Um, I've also used it to pay for, it was some other, I'm trying to remember the name of it. It was you watch movies on it, but they're school appropriate movies, but you pay for it so that it's like you get the license and everything. I can't remember the name of it. If you're interested in it, I'll go back and find it, but I've used it to pay for that before. But then the
Mhm.
price of that went up and my budget went down and I couldn't buy it anymore. And I just let that go. So it's
Okay.
other things you can use the AV, but I don't mind it going all in together the way they did now. So but that money, I start collecting books in my order, like in Mackin or in Librarian. I start building my order after this money is all gone. I'll start up a new one so I can just go in and put stuff in there and I don't have to do it all at once. Because it takes forever when you're trying to spend $10,000 on books, and I don't always have that time once school starts.
Mhm.
So like every few weeks I'll put some more books in there. I might listen to a webinar where someone's talking about new books that you should add to your high school library. I'll add those books in there. And in the summertime, if I go to a training and they do book talks, I'll add those books in there. I might
I
go to the
like that
public library.
idea.
Mm-hmm. When I take pictures of books at the public library, I might go home that night while I'm sitting looking at TV. I put the books in my book order, but that way it kind of builds up and I may not finish it, but I'll get most of it done. So when school starts, I only have like a couple $1,000s that I need to still spend. Um, so I talked about that. I get my budget from the office manager. She will
Okay.
have it. If you don't ask her for it, she may not give it to you. Depends on how good an office manager you have, really. This year I just already knew what it was, so I didn't even ask her for it because we got a new office manager and she's a little bit overwhelmed. So I didn't even ask her for it. I just based it on what I had last year and roll with it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we got the two line codes. I don't know how to break down the line codes and tell you what it means, but I know Ada did a training earlier this year on library line codes and what they all mean.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Okay.
and I like to spend my books on stuff like I have right now. Out there, some boys were asking me about some graphic novels that I don't have, and I just keep a notepad and some pencils by my computer so that when I'm not there, they can write down their suggestions. And I
Mhm.
buy stuff they suggest. I do the librarian recommendations, stuff that I see other places. The books are really the easiest part. It's the other things like the office supplies, because our office supply budget is so small. If you want to get puzzles, for instance, you can't just go to Dollar
Oh,
General and buy puzzles. You can't
I
just
didn't
go get
even
the
think
cheap ones.
about that. I didn't
They
even
love
think about
puzzles.
puzzles for your supply.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay.
That's the type of stuff I buy in my supplies. So you can get pens and pencils anywhere. You can get
Mhm.
pens, pencils. Once you have your tape that you need for book tape and stuff like that, it's the other things that you want to get, puzzles or signage or what else have I bought? Let me show you this one thing. Um, I should have had this already ready.
It's
But
okay.
stuff like this, and I get my kids to
Mm.
write on it, and it lights up when you plug it up. It lights up all the way around, but it's good for if you have a special area you want to draw attention to. But I use my general supplies for stuff like this.
Okay. That's
So
nice.
storage,
Wow.
things like that.
General supply.
Book stands, because I never have enough book stands. Because if you do a display, you want to put them up. That's what I buy with my general supplies budget is things like that. Book ends, book stands, games like Battleship, Uno. They love playing things like that. You can use your general supplies to buy stuff like that. So that's what I focus on using it for every year. Signage, the other signs that I put up, and then
Mm-hmm.
now that I'm genrefied, you have to put the spine label, the colored spine label on here. We have to buy that out of our own budget. So I
Yeah.
use mine to buy stuff like that.
Okay. Now, yeah, I know our school, when I came here, this school didn't have a librarian in like 4 years. So, um, some things we already had, but games, there were no games, no puzzles. And I
Hmm.
did have to go to Walmart and just buy something. And
See?
last year I used Scholastic and I used that like um as money as well, like grant money in a way. Like
Hmm.
we raised the money, fundraising money basically, and I purchased like flexible seatings and I purchased games and things like that. I even purchased a green screen.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I'm trying to,
From Scholastic.
yes.
That's
So
good.
I try to use the
Creative.
budget. I try to use that, but well, not budget, but outside of the budget,
Hmm.
to purchase things because mine's all just went straight to books because I didn't know like you can kind of be flexible with it. You can be flexible with it, but I didn't know.
With the different line codes. If it's a line code for reading materials, you can only spend it on reading materials. They can
Oh,
be
okay.
digital or print, but only reading materials with that one. So with
Okay.
the general supplies budget, you can do whatever with that one.
Okay.
Hmm. But I love that you've been using your Scholastic money because that's what I use my Scholastic money for prizes, and then I bought a big tower to plug in things. I forget what you call charging stand with it, but I just mostly buy prizes for
That's
my
what I need to
kids.
buy. Charging stand for iPads. They gave us 4 iPads.
Oh, good.
And I need that. I buy you little trinkets and stuff for
Hmm.
prizes as well. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. So yeah, that's the fun part, coming up with stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So, like a question that I have is with the budget is are they expecting us? I mean, I know that they're expecting us to use the new house bill, and purchase things based on that. Um, but even with the AV budget too, I mean, even though I know they combined it, but like, can you separate it? Like I could use more money for AV than reading books or not.
Probably not, because I think when they combined it, they got rid of the words AV materials and they made it just reading materials. So you probably
Okay.
can't use any of that to spend, you can't spend any of that on AV. You would have to use your general supplies budget to buy AV now.
Okay.
To the best of my knowledge, that's how it is now. And it's not that
Okay.
much, so you couldn't buy too much with $200.
Right, right, right. So
Hmm.
so it still is not the best for AV materials because even though they combined it, you still gotta use it according to how they want to use it.
Hmm. Pretty much. They give you parameters. They give you the funds and they want you to find something good, but you just need to work within their parameters. And if you don't, if you kind of go outside the lines, one of them, Ada or Tabitha, Denise, somebody will reach out to you and say, "Hey, I saw that you tried to purchase this. We blah 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 blah."
Hmm. What happens if you don't spend all of your budget? What, like, let's say you have 500, you may not have, you didn't get a chance to spend. What will happen to that?
So if it's reading materials, it goes back to library services, and they usually use it for ebooks. If it's money from reading materials, if it's from your general supplies, then the campus gets it, and they do
Mhm.
whatever they're going to do with it. Sometimes if you don't spend it soon enough, the campus might take it anyway.
Okay, okay.
Just depends. So depends on your administration that year. But if you don't hurry up and spend it, sometimes they just take it away. But it's best to always spend as much of it as you can, because if they give you $400 and you only spend 250 consistently, they're gonna start thinking, well, she don't need all that money. Let's just give her 250 this year. That's what she been spending. We're gonna take that other 150 and give it to the math department. And they can do that. So that's one reason why
Mm.
I spend every penny usually that they give me, because I don't want them to think I don't need it, because I do need
Right,
it.
right, right. Okay,
Mhm.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you may want to share with me before we wrap it up?
Um, yes, we talked about the grants, and there's more than just the ones in Dallas. They sent out the information about the Barbara Bush grant. If you need a lot of reading materials, you can
Mm-hmm.
get a large, I can't remember how much it is, but there's a large lump sum from that. And then Dollar General, believe it or not, does a big reading grant. Mm-hmm. All different places. So, and when I said I shop everywhere, I bought this little red rolling cart. It's a mechanics cart that I used to shelf books, because my low down bookshelves are so low. My back was hurting, bending down on my knees constantly trying to shelve on that little low shelf. So I bought this little red mechanics cart from Harbor Freight Tools, and that has just saved me so much just being able to scoot around on that. So just shop everywhere, find stuff unconventional, whatever you can buy.
All right. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. To have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too.
All right, bye.
Bye bye.